Okay, so here we are. So I guess it's been about 6 years since I posted on this YouTube channel. I have other YouTube channels and stuff that I do, but it's taken time to come back to this one. This one I used to post quite a bit on. Well, I mean, I think I've done like 6 or 7 videos on here. But it was time. I felt a calling to come back here. Something a little separate from my business channel. I have a podcast on there, and I've done classes and other videos and things like that. But over the past couple of months, I've felt the need to, I've come back to my own story. That's what it is. I've come back to my own story. So, since 2017, 2018, when my last video was posted, so many things have changed. First of all, I'm living in Kitchener now. I moved in about 18 months ago to my own place after a very long time of living in other people's spaces. I adopted a cat. Her name is Sky, and she is 16 and she's deaf, so that's something. She was in the shelter for a year. I guess her previous owners, they had a kid, and the kid developed allergies to a cat, and so it was like, do they get rid of the kid or get rid of the cat? And so they got rid of the cat. I'm sure it was a difficult choice for them, but that's what they did. And now she's living with me, and she's been here for the past 18 months, and she's adorable. I've been on a real journey. I moved up here because I was given an office in one of the places I've been doing a lot of my learning. And I came mid-pandemic. It was 2020. I lived with my parents for about 4 months after leaving Hamilton, close to the start of the pandemic. And I needed to kind of find my bearings a bit. And I needed to live by myself for a bit. It was one of those situations where, I hadn't had the time or the space to really explore who I was. And I certainly didn't have the space to kind of express who I was. So I moved into my own place. I was really fortunate to get a place at a local co-op. And I got a little job at a bookstore and started building my practice. And so that's what I've been kind of doing over the past 18 months. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a rough pandemic. I feel like after we're at like 2 years and a month or something like that, I feel like I am a completely different person. I know a lot of people feel that way too, that the past 2 years have felt more like 4 or 5 or 10 years. And I don't even know where to begin. Last year, I made a decision that I was going to start taking care of myself. I gained about 20 pounds over the course of the first year of the pandemic, and I ballooned, and I didn't feel great. I didn't feel good. My back was hurting, and I was like 225 pounds, and it just didn't feel great. So I started paying attention to what I was eating. I started working with a personal trainer online, and then started cutting down. And as of like today, I have lost 30 pounds since last year. So that is a huge achievement. I've still got about 20 pounds I think I want to get rid of, but yeah. So when I started working on myself, and I started looking in the mirror and started seeing somebody I liked again, I started to kind of do some more inner work, which is easy to do when you have the colleagues I'm surrounded by who will push you to do inner work. And I went on a retreat in October, and a lot of stuff came up for me. And through that retreat, a lot of things I had been feeling and holding on to all these years. So I did a lot of inner work. I started working on myself, and in December, I came out as non-binary. A big decision. I haven't come out since 15 when I came out as gay. And I didn't know in 20 years' time that I would have a whole new other thing to realize about myself. And so I've been in a real interesting moment in my life where when one thing started to be worked on and questioned, because I'll be honest with you, I was looking in the mirror and I was seeing a larger body and I wasn't seeing myself, and I was convinced that I would be that size for the rest of my life, and that I would be miserable because of it, because I was miserable. And when I started to question that, other aspects of my life, things that had been lodged down, started opening up, and there was movement, and suddenly here I am. So I'm still on that journey. I'm still finding myself. I'm still working on those things, and I guess that's really what this space is. I've felt the need to come back to my story. I focused so much on other people's stories over the past God knows how many years, that it's time for me to work on my own story and come back to it and reread it with new eyes, with eyes of wisdom and eyes of discernment and eyes of kindness and all of those things. So that's what some of the content I'm going to be posting here. Also, I'm borrowing some equipment. I think I'm going to probably end up buying them to kind of test out. I got myself a webcam. I got myself a ring light. I got myself a new microphone. So that has helped, kind of put all this together. I've been focusing a lot and watching a lot of trans and non-binary YouTubers and social media people. Specifically people like Jamie Dodger, Jamie, No Offense, Sam Collins, and people like that. And just hearing their story and how they show up in the world, it was really, it was terrifying, to be honest, because the authenticity of their stories and the authenticity of them living their life was like an invitation for me to live my life in a more authentic way. And that's not to say I wasn't living it authentically in other ways previously. But when this gender piece came up for me and I started to really question that, and then I just concluded that no, you are non-binary, that you have felt this a very long time, then it was like an invitation for me to take ownership of my life in a way that I wasn't before. And my authentic self, I have come to realize, is completely writable by me, right? I am able to write this story. And because of that, I could let go of things I was holding on to for years and years and years. I could let go of people who were abusing me, of hurting me. I could take responsibility in ways of people that I abused and hurt in my life. And through taking that responsibility and the consequences, I was able to step into my story and my life and narrate in a way that I wasn't before. So I'm exhausted. I don't know if you can see it on my face, but I'm a little exhausted right now. I have had a lot of shit go down in the past 6 months, and a lot of it is good. A lot of it is clearing the grime of years and years and years of holding on to it. So I'd like to use this platform as a way to share. I want to use this platform as a way to inspire. I want to use this platform so that in 10 years' time, I can do what I'm doing now and looking back at myself, my younger self, and being proud of who I was and who I was becoming and the steps I was taking. Because I am so proud of the person I was 6 years ago, 7 years ago, for taking their life and starting to do the work that they needed to do in order to build their life again and step into their life and make decisions for them. I'm living the fruits of their labor in the way that the person I'm becoming will enjoy the fruits of my labor now. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to sharing. I'm looking forward to kind of seeing how this side project will grow. And I'm looking forward to having some of you on that journey. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I will see you at my next video.